Okay, this is video number 2 for the 1972 bus. I had filmed one video, I took pictures of the bus, and now I'm just covering the documentation. So what I did is I actually categorized all the paperwork I've gotten by the year and put it in this binder to look at. So you can see we'll start with basically the original brochure that the original owner had in 1972 when she went to the dealership to look at what she wanted to buy. She actually was taking measurements of how much seating area and stuff there was in the bus, which is kind of weird. This lady is really meticulous about a lot of stuff that you'll see. This is the original paper plate from Circle Motors in Long Beach. It was on the bus when she bought it, which she saved. And we have here the original owner's manual, which she filled out with her name. And early in the book it does have a few spots where she had it stamped for service when she had service done. I think it might be in the rear, but there's some spots where you can actually get it stamped for when she had it serviced or whatever. So that's in there. So this is the original owner's manual. So what I've done is I put these in here by years. So well, still starting with the beginning here, we have the original. I guess it was a temporary registration that would have went in the window or something until the license plate came. So she saved this along with the original emissions paperwork. Here's the original window sticker from VW where she talked about the color she was getting was the Chianti Red L31, and this is the actual window sticker when she bought it. And then here we have the original purchase contract from Circle Motors. Barbara Moore was her name, Long Beach. Here's where she actually paid to have the pinstriping put on from the dealership. She paid $3,600 for the vehicle, and this is the receipt for her down payment. She bought it on 12/26/72, the day after Christmas. So that is the original service contract she saved. And then we have here the temporary identification, which would be, you can see where it was taped in the window. It had 17 hundredths of a mile on the vehicle when she took it from the dealership lot, and stated the same date, her name, everything. And then here we have jump to a warranty, something about adjustment of a steering box. And this is a warranty. So the receipts go from here. This is Circle Motors, this is the dealership, and then what I've done is I've categorized going from year to year. Circle Motors, Circle Motors, Circle Motors. Basically you can see just ridiculous amount of documentation. Here is actually a tow, 1973. It looks like she had it towed to a VW dealer in San Rafael, California, where she had something like the vehicle stalled and she had it taken and repaired. So basically this goes on and on, just very, very, very meticulous records. Tips for saving gas, some articles she saved, 1974. Again, going on and on. Receipts, services that she had done, oil changes, little parts that she bought. She pretty much frequented the same repair facility at VW. In this case, it was Leon Felton in San Rafael. So she actually moved up to the Bay Area, it appears, at some point, and then from then on, it's pretty much all Bay Area. Here's a letter she had wrote. It's kind of funny. She's complaining to the dealership about paying, or actually getting refunded for a flasher relay that she had just paid to fix a few months prior, and she was complaining, wanted her $10 back. So this is how this lady was. I mean, she literally wrote to the dealership for that. So this is how frugal she was. So again, going on, so you can see just years of service records. VW battery, she saved the warranty paperwork. She actually filled it out. 36-month VW battery, 1978. And all these receipts document the mileage each time it was serviced, so you can see how low the mileage really was. If you're jumping forward, it took almost 10 years for her to even put 10,000 miles on it. Going up into the 80s, basically I'm going to jump forward, you can just see just endless amounts of receipts. Everything that's ever been done to this bus, which is mainly maintenance, is recorded in this folder. She even made notes talking about certain things, like she repaired a fuel pump and things to watch for. I mean, she was very meticulous in documenting stuff that was done to her bus. Here we have a set of tires. Finally, I believe it was 80,000 miles when she had her first tire replacement. So you can see, I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of receipts in here. What I'm skipping forward to here is looking for, she kept the cardboard from the wiper blades that she bought so she would know which ones to buy next time. It's kind of funny. So when she would buy tires, she was very meticulous about writing down with drawings the rotation of the tires and where they were, which tire was being rotated to what, and so on and so forth. And I'm looking for that now. Here we go, right here. So what we have here is the Continental brochure when she bought a set of Continental tires. It's the warranty information which she filled out. And then she has a drawing which tires were rotated to where. She wrote the date, 1976. And we have another drawing. This one's dated 1970 something. And then we have another drawing when she actually replaced two front tires, 1980. And another drawing, and another drawing. There's basically like 5 or 6 here of talking about then when she used her spare and which spot the spare went to, and it is ridiculous, like the documentation she did on this vehicle. So just shows you the type of person who was very strict about maintenance, keeping track of everything she did, keeping, you know, for reference. All this has been kept. The vehicle actually did not, according to service documents, did not roll 100,000 miles until 2002, which means 30 years. She owned this bus for 30 years before it rolled 100,000. And she was very strict about having it serviced every 2,000 or every 10,000 miles. There's a lot of 10,000 mile services in here. So basically anything, it's all in here up to more recent. 2008 is when she sold it. So the documentation kind of lapses there for a few years until 12, when there is a set of tires, some shocks, a registration for the owner, a valve adjustment, so on. So basically this thing is, this vehicle has the amount of documentation I've never seen before in any VW I've ever owned, or any vehicle for that matter. It's just ridiculous. I've never seen such extensive, another tire diagram. So, and then here's something that was really, if you haven't already think this is crazy so far, this little notepad basically is her getting gas, dating how many gallons, what kind of mileage she was getting for approximately 8 or 9 years worth of writing down fuel in this, and the odometer reading for 9 years, and what kind of mileage she was getting. She kept these records in a little notebook that's kind of started to come apart, so holding it with a paper clip. So basically all these receipts add up to $15,359. So she spent almost $16,000 on maintenance and repairs and keeping her VW bus roadworthy and cared for. So if anybody can possibly produce a vehicle with this kind of documentation, I would love to see it, because I've never seen something like this before. So this is for the 72 VW bus, have for sale. This is the documentation that accompanies with it. This documentation alone, even without the bus, is astonishing. But this bus is in great driving condition, as you can see by the maintenance that's been done to it. So see my other video if you want to see the bus itself. That's my first video. This is the second video. I post these on YouTube, and probably have an ad on Samba for sale, and there'll also be a photo bucket link for a bunch of photos for the bus too. So that'll do it. Thanks for looking.